Manchester United interested in Chelsea target Rafael Leao. Chelsea have had long-standing interest in AC Milan forward Rafael Leao, but may now face some new competition for the Portuguese winger in the shape of Manchester United. Leao is one of the most sought-after wingers in Europe, and it's not surprised Manchester United have shown some interest in acquiring his signature. Chelsea have already had a bid rejected in the summer for Leao, but are expected to renew their interest soon. The player is said to be available for around £60 million, despite rejecting a bid from Chelsea for £80 million in the summer. According to Simon Mullock from the Mirror, Manchester United have an interest in signing Rafael Leao. The club need a forward with Cristiano Ronaldo expected to leave soon, and Leao could be the one they turn to bolster their options. Chelsea are of course the favourites to sign Leao, as they have been in pole position to sign him since the summer. A bid of £80 million was rejected on deadline day, but Chelsea are expected to try again. AC Milan of course are aiming to offer Leao a new contract, and do have confidence that he could commit his future to the club, at least for a year or two more. Chelsea are aiming to wrap up Christopher Nkunku's transfer first, and are expected to turn their attention to Rafael Leao after that. Romelu Lukaku will not return to Chelsea in January. Romelu Lukaku will not return to Chelsea this January, and is expected to stay at Inter Milan to see out the rest of his loan. Lukaku returned to Inter this summer after his big money move last year, but has not performed the way he would have liked. Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel did not see Lukaku in their plans or system last season, and it led to the Belgian being froze out very early on in his career back at the club. The infamous interview did not do him any favours either. There have been murmurs of a return, but that has today been denied and shut down. According to Fabrizio Romano via YouTube, Romelu Lukaku will not return to Chelsea in January, and will stay at Inter Milan to see out the rest of his loan. The clubs have not decided on anything, and Lukaku will not return in January despite reports suggesting otherwise. There have been rumours suggesting Inter Milan were keen on terminating the Belgian striker's contract after being seriously worried by his physical decline and poor run of form in the team, and were ready to cut their losses. Negotiations are not ongoing in any way regarding the player, and the possibility of Inter terminating the contract of Lukaku in January is absolutely not a possibility as things stand. Lukaku is set to complete the season with Inter Milan. Inter and Chelsea have had discussions to extend the loan deal at the end of the year for a further year, but nothing is signed or agreed as of yet. Thiago Silva's wife confirms plans to stay at Chelsea. The speculation has been growing in recent weeks regarding Thiago Silva and his Chelsea future after this season. The 38-year-old is running out of his contract, and the club will have to decide whether to renew his deal. Silva signed a new deal to keep him at the club for the 2022-2023 season, and that decision may be taken up by the club again. The decision is not expected to be till after the World Cup, with the player having commitments for Brazil. Thiago Silva's wife, Bella, has today confirmed her husband's plans to stay at the club. Speaking today after Chelsea win against Aston Villa, Thiago Silva's wife Bella confirmed that her husband does not currently have any plans to leave the club. "We don't have any plans to leave Chelsea, we are really enjoying it here and Thiago still has a contract." The club are expected to offer Silva a new contract, as his experience around the club and professionalism is something money can rarely buy. It is likely to be a one-year deal, but the club do want to keep him. Silva is likely to accept, but with his age, the club will definitely be looking to sign a younger defender in the coming months to replace him. The Brazilian is showing no signs of slowing down, but age always wins in the end. Ruben Loftus-Cheek could be a target for AC Milan in January. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has rediscovered some of the form that made him so highly rated internally at Chelsea, and that form is being noticed around Europe by some big clubs, including AC Milan. Chelsea won back-to-back games against Milan home and away in the Champions League recently, and Loftus-Cheek played the full 90 minutes in the home game, contributing to an assist. His ex-teammate Fikayo Tomori has had success going abroad to Milan, and Loftus-Cheek could look at that as a big reason to make a change in his career and head to Italy. According to Calcio Mercato in Italy, Ruben Loftus-Cheek could be a January transfer target for AC Milan, with the club having interest in the Chelsea midfielder. Loftus-Cheek has had a renaissance this season, and is knocking on the door of starting every week for Chelsea. The English club would be likely to want to keep Loftus-Cheek due to his versatility, but the right offer and willingness from the player to leave may mean a deal could be possible. Milan were heavily impressed over Loftus-Cheek's performance against them in the Champions League, and are interested in starting discussions with Chelsea over a move for the player in January. It will be one to keep an eye on, and the midfielder's role in the team up until the World Cup begins may be something to keep an eye on in terms of the final outcome of this rumour. Kepa on his return to form and the squad warming to Potter. Kepa spoke yesterday about his revival in form and how the team are slowly getting to grips with Graham Potter's philosophy. Kepa produced a man-of-the-match display yesterday against Aston Villa and admitted that working on reaction saves in training is not the same as it is on a match day. We work on these types of things during the week, reaction speed and instincts, but then in the game it's completely different. You have no time to think. You have to be ready because anything can happen. The 28-year-old has been a mainstay in the Chelsea starting 11 since Graham Potter's arrival and said he is feeling good about his recent performances. I'm feeling very well, with confidence, with and without the ball. Self-confidence and belief in your work, in what you're doing, and belief in the process is very important. Of course, I had really tough moments. I had really good moments, but in the end it's like life. You have ups and downs and you have to be strong mentally, sticking with your ideas and keeping working. Yesterday's victory keeps Chelsea in 4th place in the league table and Kepa said he is pleased with the result considering how tough a side Aston Villa are. I'm really happy because of the win and because I helped the team. Villa Park is a really tough stadium to play in. He also admits that it hasn't been light work for the side to perform to such a high standard after their European exploits in midweek, but they are slowly beginning to understand Potter's new system. After a big win away in the Champions League, it's not easy coming again to the Premier League, to be focused, to go away and travel. We are now winning at big stadiums. Winning at Villa Park is not easy, winning in Milan is not easy. We are getting the manager's ideas better and better. It is a quick turnaround once again for the Blues as they prepare to make the short trip to Brentford on Wednesday evening. Liverpool making late attempt to hijack Chelsea move for Christopher Nkunku. Liverpool have reportedly sent scouts to watch RB Leipzig star Christopher Nkunku, who is very heavily linked with a move to Chelsea. Earlier in the week, it was reported that Chelsea had agreed personal terms with Nkunku ahead of a big money transfer in 2023. The French forward was the subject of much interest over the summer from many big clubs across Europe, but was convinced to pen a new deal with Leipzig, though it does now include a release clause which will become active at the end of the season. Reports suggest that the Blues will not wait for the release clause, however, with Graham Potter's side planning to spend big in advance to beat the competition. That competition would now seem to include their Premier League rivals Liverpool, who, according to The Sun, sent scouts to watch Nkunku while he was in action against Celtic in the Champions League last Tuesday. The 24-year-old aided his side to a 2-0 win in Glasgow, though was unable to add to his 10 goals and 1 assist that he has registered so far this season. Given how advanced Chelsea reportedly are with the deal, Liverpool are not hopeful of hijacking the transfer, though will remain interested in case the move to Stamford Bridge stalls. A move for Nkunku would be surprising for the Reds, given that they have already splashed the cash on a new striker, signing Darwin Núñez over the summer. Nkunku is not the only Leipzig star Chelsea are interested in, however, with centre-back Josko Gvardiol still on their radar, having been one of Thomas Tuchel's top targets over the summer. They were unable to secure the Croatian international, with the 20-year-old signing a new deal to stay at the Bundesliga club until 2027, while the Blues turned their attention to Wesley Fofana. It has been suggested that to sign both Nkunku and Gvardiol, Chelsea will be required to pay in excess of £130 million.